Hi guys, this is part 2 of the little project. I've already talked about why we want to do what we're going to do. Now we're going to do it. I'm going to split one of these dummy batteries apart. Which is only held together where I've been round it with the soldering iron and put little teeth into it. There we go. Right, so that's the circuit board. We need to get an extra wire in there. Go to the back of, we're going to be out of focus now, aren't we? Right, we want to go to the back of P minus, intermittent switch between P minus and the negative side on here, and that should trigger it. But it's a matter of where am I going to mount this. So that's going to sit in there. That was holding it in position. I want to mount that so it's, could probably hot glue it in place. I'll drill a hole in it somewhere so that can just poke through. Before I do that, I will check that switch works, because we don't want to spend all the time getting it in position and then find it doesn't work. I said hot glue, I might actually use super glue and baking powder. Yep, switch works. I've just drilled a little hole in there, so that will actually fit right there, and it's actually just under flush, which is exactly what I want, so it won't be pressed all the time, but you actually have to push something in there like a fingernail to operate it. Right. Before we actually glue it in place, we'll just test it. So let's just have a look first. Got voltage on there, unplug it, plug it back in again. That's probably my fingers, yeah, that's my fingers on the back. So yeah, no volts, press the button. 7.9 volts, so that works. Disconnect that again, plug it in again. No volts. Yep, no volts. Press the button. .9 volts. Okay, so that works. I had to find a little test tag or contact on the back there that made contact with that negative panel on the front. So that's why I've got a little bit of wire on there, and that goes through the switch and then to the negative of the battery. So now we'll try and glue that in there. I did try using super glue and it just snaps off again. So I'm going to use hot glue this time. Alright, I've got it clamped together so I can run round with the soldering iron and hot melt it together. But we'll just give it a test. So battery on. Nothing. And if I push the button in, there we go. So I'll run round and reseal that. Super glue just doesn't touch this plastic at all. Right, so that should be job done. So that's our little button now to reset it. For those who haven't watched the previous videos, the battery has got a protective circuit in it that I think is to stop over discharge, and until that circuit has been reset, you don't see any voltage out on those tags. Now normally, just sitting it in there would reset it. Shove stuff out the way a second. This is the standard charger for those batteries. So disconnect, connect. Nothing. You pop it in the charger. As soon as it's done that, then there you go. And that's how I traced what was going on. There's something from there going into there turns it on, and then the comments on the first video talked about resetting the circuit in there. And I've apologised, forgotten the guy's name, but he suggested running a wire from the positive and touching it on the positive to reset it. That didn't work, but negative onto negative does. So that resets the protective circuit in there so that the power from there goes through and out of there. Sounds a bit complicated. His suggestion was bypass that circuit entirely and just go straight from the power straight to the positive and negative there. But I wasn't too sure whether any of those tags actually do anything else in the camera, which is why I wanted to retain that circuit board. And that does the job. Having a little switch there, just briefly touches the negative onto the back of the negative tag, and that resets whatever the chip is in there that needed resetting. And just finally, this is the camera, my Canon SX60 HS, is that right? Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Canon PowerShot, that's right, Canon PowerShot SX60 HS. Battery goes in there. I was finding I wasn't getting a long enough run time using the existing batteries, so I can now put that one in there, come out through there, and with a bit of luck, there we go, 100% battery. Which means I can use any 2S external battery I like, as long as it's got one of these balance leads. In fact, that particular battery is one that I've homemade from two Poundland disposable power pods, which they've stopped selling, but they were a handy source of 1S lithium-ion batteries. So that's actually a 2S lithium-ion battery, homemade, no protection circuit on it, going through the protection circuit in the battery, or the old battery shell, and into the camera. Thanks for watching. If you want more information, check down below in the video description. If you like this video, you might like this one up here. And if you want to subscribe, you can check out my channel over here. Up here is my latest video on my channel, and down here is a video playlist associated with the video you've just watched. Thanks again for watching.